Good morning, guys. It's now 10 a.m. here, Vegas time. I was just catching a video from Kelly Stewart. Some information has come to me, and because I am here behind the scenes of the case, I usually receive information about the case before the supporters and those following the case receive it. I don't necessarily put it out because I don't have the permission to put it out. But Kelly Stewart here on her video is alluding to a very important fact, that the information that is being put out on social media isn't even a small, it's just a small, like 1% of what is happening in these secret hearings and court proceedings of this case. So anytime new motions are filed by the defense, or additional information comes to light, Judge Gloria Navarro automatically calls a closed hearing, and everything that's said in there is secret. I don't know if it's going on the court record, if somebody's actually documenting this for future reference or whatever. But it is sealed from the public. We can't know what's being said. And there's been information brought to me this morning. I was speaking to someone for about an hour and a half on the phone this morning about some information that a couple of whistleblowers has handed over to the defense. And the sealed hearings, this is what caused the sealed hearings. What day was it? Just the recent sealed hearing that the supporters were not allowed to be a part of or hear what was going on. Okay, so what's happened is there's been a couple of whistleblowers from the Department of Justice that has brought forth some documents. These documents, oh my God, they're explosive, guys. And within those documents, I can't get into the details of it because I don't have a copy of the documents, but I do know that there have been a couple whistleblowers in the Department of Justice that brought this information to the defense. There's only a few of us, besides the attorneys in the case, that know what is contained in these documents, and I only know some of the information that's contained in these documents. It was brought to my attention this morning as I'm sitting here having coffee. So I begin to look around on the internet. I'm waiting for further instructions before I talk about it anymore. But I did note that on Kelly Stewart's video on December 11th, that she's also alluding to a very important fact, and that is that there's just a small fraction of information that is being put out on social media and to the supporters and stuff, guys. If you actually knew what was contained and what was going on in these hearings, I think our founding fathers will definitely be rolling over in their graves. Some of this stuff is so alarming to me that I don't even know how to react to it. But then I sit back and it doesn't surprise me, because the antics we have seen by the federal judge herself and the prosecution. The last two trials, the men on trial were not even allowed to put on an adequate defense for themselves because so much evidence was suppressed or not given to them. And the judge went along with this, and they were attempting to obtain guilty verdicts. The judge even went so far to pacify the jury by giving them candy during breaks. It's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. So in light of the new information that I have, which would totally shock my conscience, that I'm still taking time to process all of it, and the fact that once again I have to hold back releasing this information because it's very damning and it's very damaging, and it's very dangerous to myself, my family, to put the information out without having documented proof. It's not enough for me to tell you guys the information I'm getting. I need proof. Some people will get on the internet and talk about it, will eventually release the details, but not actually show you the documents. I'm not that type of person. When I release the information, I want the damn documents. And even if that means I'm not the first person to put the information out, in order to protect myself and my family, and to ensure that I'm not slandering individuals involved in the case, I want documented proof before I start saying anything. It has to be factual. That's how I am. I need proof before I talk to you guys about it. And so Kelly Stewart, is talking about this. There is information, a lot of information, guys, that some of us are privy to, and we're not putting it out there for the sake of keeping the confidentiality of individuals, and the fact that the documentation is not available yet. So we've been asked not to speak about these matters at this point. But what I can tell you is that there have been 2 whistleblowers within the Department of Justice that has handed over documentation to the defense. The defense has filed motions which led to the closed hearings, secret hearings, the last time that they were all at the courthouse. These documents are very damning, very telling about the tactics, the links in which the federal government will go to in order to obtain their goals. And their behavior is illegal, it's unlawful, it's immoral, it is just, oh my God, shocking to my conscience. So in the process of, this information just totally shocking the hell out of me, I still sit back and say, it doesn't surprise me. Of course this is what that's been done. Of course this has been done. And I believe the information I received this morning because of everything else I have seen in this case. So, I don't even know what else to say, guys. I'm at a loss for words. But if you think the picture that's being painted right now is bad, you guys don't even know 10% of what's really going on. You don't even know 5% of what's really going on. And so that's why, I put out a video with the last John Lamb update. The beginning of it, I start out saying, there is no other choice. Okay, but for the judge to dismiss this case with prejudice. She has no other choice. The fact that she hasn't done it yet shows me that she is dragging her feet on the inevitable, and I want to know why. What are they planning now? They released these guys with restrictions when she should have just dismissed the damn case with prejudice and let these people move on with their lives. But she didn't do that. She released them from the detention centers and put ankle bracelets on them. And Cliven Bundy says, oh, hell no, I'm not doing that. I'm staying here until I'm completely free. And with the information I have, I believe that is the safest choice for himself and his family at this point. I'm really concerned about the men that have been released with those ankle bracelets. It puts them in a bad situation, guys, because of the conditions that were placed on their release. And it also makes me question how deeply involved the judge is in continuing this conspiracy against this family, because she should have just released them all, dropped the charges, and everybody move on with their lives. But she didn't do that. She's still hanging on to them, giving them some freedom, but still attempting to control what they do. And at this point, if you guys had privy to this information, you would come to realize she has no right to do that. Not only does she not have a right, what the fact that she let them go with conditions, I think, is illegal. With all the information that's been submitted, all these motions that have been filed, and the documents from these whistleblowers from the Department of Justice, this case should be over. The fact it's not has me greatly concerned for the safety of all the individuals involved at this point. So there's going to be further updates coming out, guys. Like I said, I can't tell you what the information is because I would really, I just have to keep the confidence of the person that has told me this, and I need to see the documentation for myself. I think there's even a part of like cognitive dissonance going on with me. Prove it. You know, I hear what you're saying. There's a part of me that believes it, but I have to see it for myself. And at this point, I think everyone should be that way. It's not about who gets the information out first, but who's getting out accurate information, however long it takes to ensure that we can prove what we're saying is true. So for those that are outraged about what has been told to you, you have to understand that many of us are, we actually know way more than we're allowed to say or put out, or that the common average supporter of the Bundys actually knows. So it's been an emotional roller coaster for me. And I can tell you some of the other people involved, we have this idea, we say the government's corrupt. But yet every time we're giving information about the corrupt government, it still shocks our conscience, guys. And this last information that's been given to me has just, I just want to cry. It is so bad. It is so bad. And so I am anxious to get my hands on the documents. And I want to reach out at this time and say thank you. There were some federal employees that were brave enough to step up and give us information that could exonerate these men. And that is proof that, yes, the system is broken, and many people in the system are corrupt, but there's still those few good individual people that do give a shit about doing the right thing. And, you don't get, we often forget to thank them for the courage that they had to provide information in order for the case to go the way it's going. So at this time, I want to thank these whistleblowers for turning over this documentation, and to tell you that I personally will always be grateful. And the Bundy family, we owe a lot, in part, to just a small few individuals within the government that have put the principle of justice and have shown integrity, regardless of whether you agree with Cliven Bundy or you like him or not or whatever. Thank you for doing the right thing. We love you and have this overwhelming gratitude for you. So for the Patriot community, for the Bundy supporters, thank you. And especially from me, thank you. What a wonderful Christmas gift you've given so many people. Someday, if you guys ever do come out publicly, I'm going to give you a big old hug and kiss. So be patient with us, guys, supporters. We will bring you this information as soon as we're able to. The attorneys, the defense attorneys, are still going through the judicial processes. That's what they've been trained to do, to get this information released, and that's the steps they're taking at this point. And we'll get this information to you guys as soon as we can.